Well, I decided to go ahead and make a video, even though it's after 8 o'clock at night. I didn't do one yesterday, and I didn't want to skip a second day. So here I am, making a video before I go to bed, and it will probably be a short one, and I've titled it Pill Roulette. I watched as my dad played their game. By the time of his fourth open heart surgery, plus two more to remove scar tissue, half the table was filled with prescription medications. Yes, they kept adding more. I call that pill roulette. They have me playing it now, although I will not play it as long as he did. He died at 54 years old. I hope to live much longer, well beyond my current 68. When will we understand that medicine is practicing, or put another way, guessing? To me, it's sad that people still buy into their game, even those who know better, like me currently. Anyway, yes, what I said about my dad was true. And if there's any lesson that I learned about that, it's that they don't know. They do the best they can. They've been trained a certain way. When I say they, I'm talking about doctors or the medical establishment. And they think, well, this is the way it is. As I've already discovered, sometimes they don't even know which dosage. Every time they change the dosage, I have a little bottle with a whole bunch of pills in it that are no longer the right pill. It's not the right dosage. They have me on this one here now, which is this Coumadin. Yeah, this is the Coumadin substitute, and now it's 1 milligram, really a little pill, just a little pill, and it's every other day that I take it. Now I think I was taking twice. This is at least the second time that they've changed the dosage on Coumadin. I don't like taking rat poison. Of course, in the rat poison, they give the rat so much it ends up bleeding to death. And that's not the objective with the human beings, although it's the same substance. In any case, Western medicine is all about taking drugs. And the drugs that we are given have, because it's the medical establishment that operates it, they have built-in side effects. Now, my son keeps telling me, Dad, all things have side effects. Vitamins have side effects. You can take too much of a vitamin. You can take, and it's true. It's true, and many people do not take into consideration the fact that they have to watch their dosage, even on over-the-counter things like vitamins and CoQ10 and other things like that. But with medicine, it's prescribed by a doctor, and it has an authority essence behind it, that this is what you're supposed to take, this is going to make you better. But the pharmaceutical industry has a vested interest in selling more drugs. They do not have a vested interest in healing people. I want you to get that and hear it with your ears and feel it with your being, that they do not have a vested interest in anything other than selling more drugs, and it's one of the most profitable industries on the planet, drugs. And the pharmaceutical industry is notorious for creating side effects, just like the pills that they were giving my dad. It didn't start out with half a table full. It didn't start out that way. It started out with a few pills, and then they added a few more, just like they're starting to do with me. I had 5 pills. They've eliminated one. They just added 2 more brand new ones and changed the dosage on another one. So I've got these bottles sitting there, as I said, with the wrong dosage of a certain medication, namely Coumadin, and it's a vicious cycle. Now I played a game for a simple reason. I still have bills, lots of them, that I want at least my portion covered. I've already made quite a bit of out-of-pocket expenses that I've paid out of my own bank account, and my son has paid even more. uh, on my behalf of just drugs and getting checked by these doctors, uh, and they mean well. Hear me. I'm not saying they don't mean well, but it's a vicious cycle that if you get on it, it's what I said. It's pill roulette, and ultimately the cartridge is going to be in the barrel, and when you pull the trigger, it's going to blow your brains out. It's going to kill you, and that's what happens with medications. You gradually get worse and worse and worse till you die. I don't want that. I don't want to be on that endless cycle. I mean, I'm playing the game long enough to get the insurance, Medicaid and other insurance things so that some of my bills are covered and I'm not saddled with too much out of pocket expenses. That's my motivation. Plus the fact, of course, that my son and my family is pushing me to stay on the drugs, and some of my good friends are pushing me to stay on the drugs, stay on the drugs. If this is the way to go, no, it's not the way to go. It's a dead end street played by people that have less than pure motivation. I'm sorry, but that's the reality of it. And yes, as I said, we have to watch even when we take over the counter things like vitamins and things like that. We have to watch what we're doing. We have to be intelligent. When I first had the stroke or recognized that something was wrong back in February of this year, when I was so winded and out of breath on a not that long a walk, actually, I realized something was wrong, and uh, I started overreacting to it. I immediately became a vegetarian. Uh, I started eating a totally different diet. Now, is that bad? No, but any abrupt change that we make is not good. We have to do things gradually. Now, I was blessed when I had my first open heart surgery to be engaged to a lady who was for over 20 years a registered nurse in the cardiology department of Holmes Regional Medical Center. Now, when I said to her, I want to wean myself off the medicine. Now, here, bear in mind, this is a registered nurse who works in the cardiology department. She totally supported me. What we did is we took vitamins, we watched our diet, and most important of all, we exercised. We got to where we were walking at least 2 miles every single day. Well, not every day, probably 5 days out of the week. We went for long walks. If it was clement out, if it wasn't raining, chances are we would go for a walk, either a mile or, as I said, sometimes more than 2 miles. And we would oftentimes go to this little store where we would order an ice cream salad or an ice cream, not salad, an ice cream sundae, an ice cream salad, and I guess it was a Dairy Queen. It's not there anymore, but we used to go there and order a treat. And what's happening now, because I'm taking all this stuff, is my mouth is continuously, I'm plagued with this dry mouth that is really, really annoying. I'm plagued with the fact that I have to get up to pee every 2 hours or so around the clock, and often move my bowels as well at the same time. Usually they work in sync with each other, although they're not so much the last couple of days, but they were for quite a while working in sync. But what's happened to me energetically is I used to be able, like when I first came home from the hospital, I was raking leaves outside. I was walking every day on a scheduled walk in my neighborhood. I was getting exercise, but then all of a sudden I could no longer exercise. I was short of breath. More and more and more, my breath was being taken away from me. It was killing me softly, uh, as the song goes, killing me softly with what? I don't remember the rest of the words. But in any case, I went through that thing this time, and I'm still there. I'm still where I get very, very winded. Even just getting up and walking to the refrigerator sometimes, I get very winded. and I can't sleep at night. I'm lucky. I'm lucky if I get 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and it's not always consecutive. It might be an hour here. If I get 2 hours in a row, that's a wonderful thing. But even that doesn't happen very often. So this is the dilemma that I'm faced with. I have to take the pills long enough to get the Medicaid and other insurance thing lined up so that I can get coverage on some of the things that have already happened. That's the objective. That's the goal. And it's why I succumb to taking more medication. But I look forward to the day when I can say to medication, bye bye, Birdie. I don't need you anymore. And ultimately, I believe that the human race is going to come to a place where we don't even need surgeries. Uh, I mean, I can see that in the future as we become more adept at understanding the energetics of life, not just of the body, but the energetics of life. And we're going to learn how to manipulate the energy so that the physical response will be what we need it to be without cutting, without any kind of medication. We're going to be able to just by thought change the structure and become healthier. Now, maybe that's wishful thinking, maybe that's pie in the sky, but I do think that we're ultimately moving in that direction as we uh, as we move towards a world that is a better world, a world that's based on truth and honesty, a world that's based on opportunity for everyone to become whatever they need to become and to fly as high as they want to fly. That's the world that I envision. That's the world that I work towards. It's why I work with Swiss Indo. It's why I've worked with other groups that I thought offered hope to actually change the world and make it better. But one of the ways of making it better is to get off this freaking game of pill roulette. When the drug companies have ulterior motives in what they produce and they purposely put side effects in, it's something that is not very highly recommended by me or by anybody that's a thinking person. So I thank you for listening to this, and I trust you'll have a good day. It was longer than I thought it was going to be. Bye for now. Namaste.